So I was struggling in multiple areas in my life. Number one being I had a very negative association with food. I also had a negative association with my own body image. So I would say to an extent, I still was dealing with some of the leftover symptoms of my old eating disorder and the body dysmorphia associated with that. Due to that, I had anxiety. I did not like being in public places. I was self-conscious about my own body, the way that I would look, so much so that it essentially prevented me from being able to enjoy the activity that I was in, whether I was at a beach or at a fair or with a group of friends. Like, it was just basically impossible. I was so stuck in this mental prison of just fear and anxiety that completely prevented me from enjoying what truly matters, which is the people that are around me in the moments, right? So that was happening. And because of all that stress and all that bottled up emotion that I had, obviously my body's not responding to diet, weight gain, inflammation, water retention, bursts of acute pancreatitis that has been diagnosed with no reasonable cause because all of my tests and all of my labs turn out to be I am extremely healthy. There's no reason as to why this should be happening to me. And so that is the mindset where I was in. Take that, which is just one part of it. I was also still dealing with trauma from early cases of emotional neglect, not being congratulated or celebrated at a young age, sexual trauma, very negative self-esteem, negative self-talk, constantly doubting myself, berating myself whenever I did something. So I would say just an overall I was in a mental prison of fear, anxiety, doubt, unhappiness, um, feelings of unworthiness. And so it was definitely affecting me, my life in a professional level, just because of the type of job that I do.
Mhm.
Now, taking that into where I am right now, um, I would say it has been a liberating process because it's opening it's opening a door of spirituality that I had completely closed off. One point in my childhood, I had a very strong relationship. I had faith, right? I was baptized as a Seventh Day Adventist, but faith and spirituality are two completely different things, but they can feel very similar. And because I had felt what I thought was betrayal by my faith, I completely closed off everything that had to do with faith and spirituality. So inner child work felt very new, felt very awkward, and to very many times it felt even silly. But because I made the commitment to stick with the practice, I have found that visualizing myself in the moments where I was hurt the most, or just bringing that little girl back into the present moment and taking her to celebrate certain accomplishments that I'm experiencing right now has been really good. So I started to develop a better relationship with myself, in where I am starting to finally believe. I was stuck in a point in where I know that I'm not all these negative things. I know that I deserve greater things, but it's the matter of knowing and believing. And I couldn't get past the point of just knowing, and I couldn't get to the point in where I believe these things to be true. And so I am proud of myself. I take in certain moments and usually almost always comes into tears. I'm truly starting to feel proud about all of my accomplishments. I know that I am an incredible human being and that my purpose it is to be in this planet, and that as long as I continue to just focus on myself, everything else that I am meant to do will fall in its place how it's supposed to. It's given me the opportunity to gain confidence and attain greater achievements in my work environment. So I've seen a lot of success in that, especially in the field that I am in. I enjoy eating. I have no anxiety of negative associations with food. Reading your book, right? It taught me that there's a difference, understanding the difference of working out because I absolutely love to, and because I know that it's going to be beneficial for my health, and not an action or I'm not working out for the purpose of me feeling like I look bad and I have to work out and sweat just so I can make myself feel better. Understanding the difference and understanding the emotions, accepting the emotions that are happening, letting these emotions completely go through the whole flow, feel them, choose to social distance myself from them and reground myself through self love and self gratification. Right. So I feel less stressed out. I feel less social anxiety. I feel a lot more confident. Definitely, there's certain days in where my highs are a lot more consistent than my lows. And I find myself enjoying the present moment a lot more. Driving on the highway, I notice the trees, I notice the clouds, I can feel the sun. I'm a lot more appreciative of just waking up and realizing that my eyesight's, I have my eyes, I can see, I can touch, I can walk, I can taste, I can communicate, right? I have all of my senses, and by that alone I am incredibly blessed. And just finding happiness and solace in that,
Mhm.
it feels great. It does. So my health has improved. I have not, knock on wood, gotten another acute pancreatic flare up, regardless of how consistent or inconsistent my meals are, regardless of how much fat intake I consume in within one meal, I have not gotten an acute pancreatic flare up. And that is just insane to think about. I have lost weight as a result. Not doing anything in particular. I just feel like the stress and the inflammation is just coming off of me. My communication skills have improved, so therefore my relationship has as well. And I'm a lot more open to interpretations, new ideas, and just trying to practice and being in having the conscious effort of staying in a state of being rather than in a responsive state, right? I was lingering at a consistent 124, from 123 to 126 pounds. I was just consistently staying there, and regardless on whether I starved myself or didn't starve myself, or worked out or didn't work out, my weight wouldn't budge no matter what. And 6 months prior to working with you, I actually had done a testing where my cortisol, essentially a full vision of what my circadian rhythm actually looks like over a period of 3 days. And essentially my cortisol was very high upon waking. It'll just plummet down. It didn't have a natural curve. So I associate the mental state that I was in. It wasn't just I was emotionally distressed, I was psychological distress. My body was responding. I was in a constant heightened state. So I'm not even surprised that my body just couldn't do any other functions because it was too busy thinking that my life was constantly a threat.
Mm.
And it wasn't until I started to work internally and have my intentions straight, acceptance, be non thriving, be in the present, not have a deadline, and developing that love and doing that inner child work has allowed me to feel less stressed. And it was just almost instantaneously, my body just started to do what it was supposed to. I was having better nights of sleep, no longer having nightmares. My hunger increased. I was listening to my own natural hunger cues, eating when hungry, stopping when satisfied, not non-judgment, not judging myself, bringing a lot of this love and affection into my life, and being able to process my emotions in a healthy way. Just it just happened like magic, and one day out of curiosity I just hopped on the scale and suddenly it's like 7 pounds lighter, and I really didn't do anything to lose weight. As you know, all those self work that I've done, when I focus on my health, the body will follow. But whenever I start to hyper focus on, okay, I want to go back to the gym, I want to test myself, I want to see if I start to put my focus on something that is superficial as far as my image, I tend to notice that I'm bringing too much attention and awareness on things that do not serve a purpose for me right now. And so it's a constant conscious effort of making sure that I am constantly grounded and doing the work that it's needed, that I know that is going to be beneficial for me.
Hmm.
I just want to express my gratitude to you. I followed you for 2 years prior before me even contacting you, and reaching out to you was probably it has been one of the best decisions that I could have done for myself. I understand now that it's amazing to be me. It is, and I'm great, and I love myself, and I definitely have a lot more to give, and I'm really excited for that. But right now, there's really nothing in particular that I am specifically struggling on, and I just want to say thank you.
Mm,
Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being alive, because you definitely have
mm.
impacted the life of a lot of people. And you're in my morning gratitude prayers every single morning. So I just want to let you know
That
that
means a lot. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, your work, your effort, and the intentions that you brought onto my table have will always be appreciated.